أهلا بيكم. برنامج الترجمة قسم اللغة الإنجليزية، المحاضرة الخامسة في مادة جرامر 1. طيب، الموضوع اللي هنتكلم فيه النهاردة هو subject verb agreement. يعني إيه subject verb agreement؟ يعني مثلا لما يكون عندي when I have a singular noun, the verb must be singular. يعني انتوا عارفين مثلا إن for the present simple tense, when I have he or she or it, I add an S to the verb, right? So when I have a subject which is a singular noun, يبقى لازم يبقى يعني in the present and a sentence in the present tense يبقى لازم يبقى عندي S في الفعل. إذا كان plural يبقى لازم ما يبقاش عندي. Let me tell you about something people confuse sometimes. الناس عارفة إن ال S for the plural. طيب we have S for the plural دي بتبقى مع الناون. دي S for the plural دي بتبقى مع الناون. لكن دي S اللي بتبقى مع الفعل دي بتبقى for the singular noun. I don't know, people sometimes confuse this, so I'm telling you about it. تعالوا نقرأ الكلام ده. Subject verb agreement يعني that the subject and the verb agree together يبقوا ماشيين مع بعض يعني. Subject verb agreement means that if the subject is singular, the verb must be singular. If the subject is plural, the verb must be plural. An S in a verb, ال S اللي بتبقى في الفعل indicates that the verb is singular. دي بتقول إن الفعل مفرد. And an S in the noun والS اللي بتبقى في الاسم indicates that the noun is plural. Notice that some nouns خدوا بالكم طبعا ودي عدت علينا. Notice that some nouns have irregular plural forms. Irregular plural forms. يعني بقول مثلا child children ما هيش S. بقول knife سكينة knives. بقول مثلا انتوا عارفين كلمة syllabus المنهج الجمع بتاعها syllabi. عارفين ظاهرة طبيعية اسمها phenomenon الجمع بتاعها phenomena. عارفين كمان أو لسه هنعرف، مش عارفة ده فات في محاضرة ولا لسه هيجي. عارفين كمان إن في أسماء المفرد زي الجمع. يعني إيه؟ كلمة زي كلمة fish دي مفرد وجمع. deer D-E-E-R الغزال برضو دي مفرد وجمع. sheep دي مفرد وجمع. English is full of many irregularities. الحاجات الشاذة دي في الإنجليزي كتير قوي وبنعرفها as time goes on. Notice that some nouns have irregular plural forms and do not end in S زي men with children with people etc. انتوا عارفين كلمة people مثلا دي plural ما أقول the people are. لكن في كلمة peoples بس الاسم بيختلف. peoples يعني شعوب. people يعني الناس. alright؟ يعني بقول مثلا all people like to have a good job. دي جمع. لكن بقول the peoples of Asia شعوب آسيا. هنا المعنى بقى مختلف لما حطيت S لكلمة people. طيب she works at a bank. طبعا أنا عندي she is singular يبقى works it should have an S. They work at a bank. They is plural so work does not have an S. Subject verb agreement may seem very simple يعني بنحس إنها حاجة سهلة قوي. There are some cases nevertheless which are tricky. في حاجات كده فيها tricky يعني بتخدع شوية. And you should be careful of subject-verb agreement فلازم ناخد بالنا. طيب دي حاجة من الحاجات التريكي. Be careful of prepositional phrases. انتوا عارفين ال prepositional phrase ان انا بيبقى عندي a preposition and it is followed by a noun. People sometimes confuse the noun that comes after the preposition اللي بنقول عليه ايه object of the preposition. They confuse it with the subject in the sentence. نقرا ده مع بعض. Do not confuse subjects with objects of prepositional phrases. ال prepositional phrases دي ممكن تيجي ما بين السبجكت وما بين الفعل بتاع الجملة. فممكن الناس ما تاخدش بالها وتعتبر ان الاسم اللي جاي اللي هو object of the preposition لانه جاي بعد ال preposition تعتبره هو الفاعل وتخلي الفعل يمشي معاه. انتوا عارفين ان ال prepositional phrases دي اجزاء زيادة ما هياش جزء اساسي من الجملة. انا ممكن احذفها حتى خالص. طيب هنا مثلا لما اقول the vaccine التطعيم the vaccine for the colds are available. لا كلمة for the cold أو عبارة أو the phrase ال prepositional phrase for the colds دي أنا ممكن أحذفها تماما ما تبقاش في الجملة. فين الفعل بتاع الجملة؟ الفعل هو is لأن الفاعل هو the vaccine and the vaccine is a singular word. أنا ممكن أقول the vaccine is available إذا بزود حاجة that does not change anything. أقول the vaccine for the colds is available. Colds is not my subject. تعرفين أي حاجة بتيجي بعد ال preposition بنقول عليها object of the preposition. طيب the vaccines for the cold أهي the cold هي اللي مفرد مش هقول the vaccines for the cold is available لا لأن the cold is not my subject. The subject is vaccines. فإذا كانت هنا السبجكت جمع the vaccines هتبقى are available. طيب نقرا الكلام اللي أنا قلته ده دلوقتي. Do not think that colds in the first sentence is the subject because it comes before the verb. It is the object of the preposition for. The subject is vaccine, which is singular, and the verb must be singular. Again, in the second sentence, cold is the object of the preposition, and the subject is a plural subject. The verb must also be a plural verb, which is are. نعمل مع بعض exercise 20. Each of the following sentences has one or more prepositional phrases between the subject and verb. وعشان كده أنا لازم أعرف وأنا بقرأ أي جملة الأساس بتاعها إيه. الأساس بتاعها اللي هو subject and the verb. تيجي حاجات كتير قوي في النص بقى ده مش مهم. Underline the subjects once and the verbs twice and put the prepositional phrases in boxes. هنقول الكلام ده واحنا بنقرأ. The people injured in the accident need to be rescued. Accident, which is a noun اللي جاية قبل الفعل need دي أساسا إيه؟ It's not the subject. It is the object of the preposition in. طيب أساس الجملة هو إيه؟ The people injured in the accident. أولا injured, the people injured دي صفة. The people injured. طيب هشيل in the accident دي خالص لأن دي prepositional phrase. فهتبقى the people injured need to be rescued. The subject of the sentence is, or the subject of the verb is the people, which is plural. Type the interrogation of the former president of the company, الاستجواب of the former president of the company, رئيس الشركة, conducted by 3 judges, have lasted for more than 3 hours. have lasted دي ملهاش دعوة بjudges. ليه؟ لأن الفاعل هنا هو the interrogation. طيب the interrogation الاستجواب of the former president دي prepositional phrase of the company دي another prepositional phrase conducted by 3 judges the adjective clause which is reduced. have لا كل ده ممكن بشيله بما فيه الادجكتيف كلوز. الاساس في اي جمله عندي هو الفاعل والفعل. يبقى the interrogation have lasted ولا has lasted؟ has lasted لانها مفرد. The neighbors in the next apartment is leaving tonight. In the next apartment دي ايه؟ دي prepositional phrase ارميها. الفاعل عندي هو ايه؟ the neighbors. The neighbors is leaving؟ لا the neighbors are leaving tonight. The accused المتهم surrounded by guards اللي محاط بالحراس is being interrogated by the judge. دلوقتي اهو هو بيستجوبه القاضي. طيب the accused هي دي الفاعل is being interrogated is الفعل وهو مفرد زي the accused هو واحد بس. The buildings destroyed during the flood المباني اللي اتكسرت باظت يعني during the flood بسبب الفيضان were rebuilt at the insurance expense على نفقة التأمين. طيب the buildings أنا عندي flood is singular but it's not the subject. destroyed during the flood دي أنا ممكن أشيلها خالص دي صفة. طيب the buildings were rebuilt اتبنت تاني على نفقة التأمين. the buildings were plural. طيب verbs agree with expressions of quantity. يعني ايه expressions of quantity؟ يعني نقول all half most some ودي ممكن تبقى على فكرة singular وممكن تبقى plural حسب اللي جاي بعدها. طيب نقرأ الكلام ده. when an expression of quantity أي حاجة بتشير إلى الكمية وممكن العدد كمان is a subject. when an expression of quantity is a subject followed by of يعني بقول all of the subject may be singular or plural. ممكن بقى السبجكت نفسه يبقى يا جمع يا مفرد اللي جاي بعد of ده بقى. يعني ما اقول all of the material هنا مفرد was upgraded اتحدث كل المواد اتحدثت. طيب بقول all of the materials subject هنا materials جمع يبقى were updated. طيب بقول all of the information انتوا عارفين information is uncountable ما بتتعدش. all of the information was upgraded واللي ما بيتعدش بيعامل معاملة المفرد فبقول was upgraded right. نعمل exercise 21. The subject is a quantity expression. Underline subjects once and verbs twice. هنحط الجمل، نقول الجمل مع بعضها. Most of the fire. Most of the fire. أنا بقول most of. Most هي السبجكت. Of the fire. Fire هنا مفرد ولا جمع؟ مفرد. In the woods. بصوا in the woods دي prepositional phrase ممكن أشيلها خالص يعني. فالجملة عندي إيه الأساسية؟ most of the fire معظم الحريق ها was الحريقة دي هنا حريقة واحدة. most of the fire was extinguished انطفت. لكن أنا على فكرة كان ممكن يبقى عندي حرائق كتير، فكنت هقول إيه؟ most of the fires in the woods were extinguished. لكن اللي حاصل إن أنا مديني في الجملة دي اسم مفرد. most of the students in class 7 was promoted to class 8. most of the students دي جمع، يبقى هقول was promoted اتنقلوا لكلاس 8. لا طبعا هقول ايه were promoted. most of the students were promoted. all of the animals جمع in the zoo vaccinated by Dr. أكرم. بصوا يعني أنا عندي كذا حاجة في وسط الجملة بتفصل الفاعل عن الفعل. أنا بقول most of the animals ولا all of the animals. طيب in the zoo أشيلها مش مهم. vaccinated by Dr. أكرم اللي طعمهم دكتور أكرم برضو مش مهمة. الأساس هو هنا عندي إيه؟ all of the animals is in no fear of catching the disease. طيب أنا بقول all of the animals is ولا are in no fear of catching the disease. half of the gas البنزين which is used in cars are لا are دي ملهاش دعوة بcars. طيب half of the gas ده الفعل بتاعي which is used in cars دي ممكن أحذفها. are not healthy ولا is not healthy. half of the gas is not healthy on the street. right. طيب some of the money in the banks are used to offer loans. طيب the money أساسا is uncountable يبقى بتعامل معاملة إيه؟ a singular noun. يبقى some of the money in the banks ماليش دعوة بbanks. الفعل هو الفعل بتاعه some of the money which is singular. يبقى هقول some of the money is used to offer loans. some of the money in the banks is used to offer loans. طيب ناخد بالنا من احنا عارفين when we invert subjects and verbs يعني ان نجيب الفعل قبل الفاعل. you know that. طيب inverted verbs should agree with their subject. when the subject and the verb are inverted لما بيجي الفعل قبل الفاعل it is sometimes difficult to locate them. ساعات ما بنبقاش عارفين طريقهم يعني. make sure you know where the subject and the verb are and which parts may be omitted. ايه اللي ممكن احذفه؟ طيب بقول in the classroom was ولا where the books I read. طبعا where the books I read لأن أنا الجملة الأساسية كانت إيه؟ The books I read were in the classroom. أنا لما جبت in the classroom an expression of place at the beginning I inverted زي ما أنتوا عارفين the subject and verb. طيب ما تلخبطش بقى علشان أنا عندي in the classroom is singular هتبقى was. لا، الفعل the verb belongs to books هتبقى in the classroom where the books I read. طيب. In the classrooms was the exam held. ليه؟ لأنها the exam was held in the classroom. Was or the verb belongs to the exam, not to the classrooms, right? طيب. In the above examples, you may think that classroom and classrooms are subjects. لا. But they are objects of prepositions, and because the prepositional phrases are place expressions, جم في الأول الجملة يبقى the subjects and verbs are inverted, right? In the first example, the subject is plural اللي هو the books, and in the second example, the subject is singular اللي هو exam. Verbs should agree with their subjects. All right, let's do exercise 22. Each of the following sentences contains an inverted subject and verb. Put the word or phrase which is the cause of inversion. ليه عملت في الجملة دي inversion in a box. Underline the subject once and the verbs twice, and indicate if the sentence is correct or incorrect. Type only once. انتوا عارفين only once ده negative نفي جه في أول الجملة، يبقى لازم يبقى الفعل يجي قبل الفاعل. طيب only once this week were the children allowed. Where the children الفعل جه قبل children. Where is plural and the children is plural. طيب only once this week were the children allowed free time during school hours. ادوهم راحة كده وقت المدرسة. طيب downtown near يعني في وسط البلد قريب is the streets where old buildings were renovated. Downtown near قريب في وسط البلد is طبعا downtown near دي a place expression، يبقى عشان كده عملنا inversion. طيب هقول downtown near is، ده is دي ماشية مع the streets، هتبقى ايه are the streets where old buildings were renovated. قريب من وسط البلد فيه الشوارع، توجد الشوارع اللي جددوا فيها ولا اتجددت فيها المباني القديمة. What in the world؟ أنا عندي هنا سؤال فعشان كده طبعا الفعل هيجي الأول. What in the world is the children screaming about؟ Is the children screaming؟ لا. Are the children screaming about؟ وأنا هنا عندي الانفرجن ده لأن دي أسهل حاجة انتوا عارفينها من الأول اللي هي with questions you invert subject and verb. طيب he would be studying for the exam were he able to get time off work. طيب هنا احنا قلنا ان we invert subject and verb with conditionals لما يكون عندي were أو had أو should، وأنا هنا عندي were. He would be studying for the exam if he were able to. أنا شلت if يبقى أحط الفعل قبل الفعل. If he were able to. طيب were he able to get time of work؟ صح الجملة دي. ممكن تقولوا لي ليه أنا هنا استعملت he were؟ في الconditional were بتستعمل مع المفرد كمان، لأن were معناها يعني شيء مش هيحصل، شيء غير محتمل لا يمكن حدوثه، فما بيستعملوش was مع السنجولار، بيستعملوا were. طيب this exam has many more questions. أنا هنا عندي ال comparative has many more questions than do the last one يعني the last exam. طيب this exam has more questions than the last exam does أو than does the last exam، فهي does مش do، لأن the last one يعني the last exam this is singular. then does the last exam. وانتوا عارفين ان هنا ممكن 3 حاجات ينفعوا. ممكن اقول this exam has more questions than the last exam than the last one، وممكن اقول this exam has many more questions than does the last one اللي هي دي، وممكن اقول this exam has many more questions than the last one does. alright. طيب نيجي بقى لان في كلمات معينة بتبقى مفرد، احنا ممكن نلخبطها حسب اللغة بتاعتنا لاننا بنفتكر هي بتشير عادة الى جمع. طيب certain words are singular even though certain words are plural in meaning ولو انها معناها جمع they are grammatically من ناحية القواعد they are grammatically singular in English. يعني ما اقول everybody were against the former regime، لا everybody صحيح يا كل الناس، لكن everybody grammatically speaking is a singular word. فالمفروض تبقى ايه everybody was against the former regime. We understand that everybody means all people, but it is grammatically a singular noun that requires a singular verb. فمفروض تبقى ايه تبقى everybody was against the former regime. طيب all these words are grammatically singular, so they take a singular verb. Anybody, anyone, anything. Everybody, everyone, everything. Nobody, no one. خدوا بالكم إنه no one بتتكتب كلمتين. Nothing, somebody, someone, something. each student ولا each book and every boy, every girl. يعني each لما تيجي قبل أي noun و every نفس الحكاية. طيب نعمل exercise 23. In the sentences below, underline the words that are plural in meaning but are grammatically singular once and underline the verbs twice. Indicate if the sentences are correct or incorrect. طيب I cannot believe that somebody actually behaves so meanly. Somebody behaves so meanly. إن أي حد ممكن يتصرف بالحقارة أو الخسة دي. طيب somebody is singular وأنا عندي الفعل behaves singular يبقى this is correct. Each of the teachers. طيب each of the teachers ماليش دعوة teachers، أنا ليا دعوة بكلمة each. Each is singular يبقى each of the teachers needs to have a separate office. كل واحد محتاج مكتب. طيب the chairman المدير الرئيس ولا يعني مجلس الإدارة رئيس مجلس الإدارة. طيب the chairman thought that no one دي ايه singular was suitable برضو الفعل singular this is correct. Was suitable for the position of CEO. CEO اللي هي المدير التنفيذي لمنصب المدير التنفيذي. طيب the chairman thought that no one was. This is correct. Everybody taking part in the play. Everybody taking part in the play. عارفين taking part هنا أنا يعني this is a reduced clause. Everybody who is taking part in the play بس أنا شلت الفعل والفاعل فبقت reduced. قلت everybody taking part in the play are لا is everybody is to be in the theater before 2. لازم يبقى في المسرح قبل الساعة 2. Because of heavy losses بسبب الخسائر الكبيرة nothing is singular is to be manufactured this year. مفيش أي حاجة هتتصنع السنة دي. مفيش أي حاجة دي nothing ما هيش جمع دي مفرد وعندي الفعل مفرد nothing is, so this sentence is correct. And that ends our lecture 5 of grammar 1. Thank you and see you for the next lecture.